So let's talk about the Glambot producer, Cole Walliser. I think is his name. Yeah, Cole Walliser. So y'all already know when it comes to the red carpet and this, that, and the other. The guy, somebody called him a bag of bundles. I did cackle at that. Um, this guy that has a whole mane of hair that a lot of people know him from. He does like the Glambot thing, which is the celebrities stand on something, they 3, 2, 1 action, they pose, and then the camera basically records them full speed, and then it slows it down to make it look like they're in slow mo. So I did see that Glambot thing going around, and they was even showing it during the telecast too. And I'm like, oh, they got the Glambot machine in there as well. Well, and I was like, okay, so I thought Cole was there, whatever, because I don't really watch a lot of the red carpet stuff. First of all, I forgot where was I? Oh yeah, I don't watch a lot of the red carpet stuff. I was catching a couple of the things on Twitter, like I would see a couple of the clips, videos, whatever the case is. So apparently Cole, who y'all know is the one that's been behind them, wasn't there, which shocked me because I thought he was there, but they said he wasn't. So where was he? Well, apparently they're saying that he was asked to not come back, and they were trying to blame it on Jennifer Lopez, that apparently she made a call. I need y'all to basically make sure that queen with all that hair don't be on the red carpet because they called me out on that whole attitude thing. Which it wasn't him. He actually came to your defense because I think he was trying to cover his ass and try to save his job. So he did come to your defense. It was the sleuths, it was the people on the social media that was in the comments that was dragging Jennifer over her behavior. That she came up to the thing, she did her little pose, she had her ass, because that's her favorite asset or the best part of her body, that in her mind, I mean, she's a beautiful woman, but she thinks that her ass is the only thing people will just notice on her. Maybe as white men, the ones that she be running after, that notice that. But for the most part, she basically gave him her behind, her whole ass, and then did her little pose, didn't really engage and interact with him like all the other celebrities that we've seen. And people was calling her out over it. But Cole got on the line and was, very defensive of her, saying that things happen or whatever, whatever. He didn't take that as her giving shade or whatever, although it was shade. So, with all that being said, they were trying to say it was Jennifer that had him down on the red carpet. Then I was seeing other stories, conflicting reports saying he was on the red carpet, but he wasn't actually allowed to engage and interact when they were using the Glambot. So he was there, but he wasn't like present, interacting with the celebrities, that sort of thing. So I don't know what to believe. But according to the Daily Mail, which I guess we could take they biased asses with a grain of salt, because they could be a little conservative and biased with some of the stuff they say too. Because Daily Mail give me page 6 teas every now and again. But they said filmmaker, director, and content creator Wallace, who's 44, shot to fame in 2016 when he began capturing high-speed videos of celebrities posing on red carpets, which are then slowed down. His videos have become a staple at star-studded red carpets and award shows, and over the last almost decade, he has directed the Glambot for E! News at events like the Golden Globes, the Emmy Awards, and the Academy Awards. But in recent weeks, Wallace found himself in hot water after a series of emails he sent years ago resurfaced. So I think, and to be honest, I don't think it was Jennifer. I think Jennifer's off minding her business, doing whatever it is that she's doing. Music, her residency. I don't even know if she's still doing that right now. I know she hasn't come back in March, but she's off doing other things. I don't think she had time to get on the phone, although we have heard that she has done some shady things in the past when it came to how she's treated service workers and the fact that when she was with Ben Affleck, that Ben Affleck would give big bills or tips, leave a big tip for some of the servers, and she'd go in and go right behind him and take some of the money and leave them like a little bit of coin totters on the table and go about her day. So I've heard stories about her doing that. So I wouldn't put nothing past her in this, but I don't know. For some reason, I feel like because of the surfaced emails and things that was coming out about him behind the scenes and all the talk online, that may have had something to do with the fact of him not being asked to show up at this event, because people are saying that he's got a nasty attitude, allegedly. So yeah, they after the emails surfaced or whatever, or resurfaced, he received immense backlash for the social, as he was branded unprofessional and condescending in the emails. Now, amidst the controversy, Wallace seemed to skip out on the 2026 Grammys. Now, E! News shared a slew of behind-the-scenes clips on Twitter of celebrities using the Glambot during the red carpet, and many users pointed out that Wallace was not there. Immediately, the platform was flooded with posts about his absence. So Cole Wallace isn't at the hashtag Grammys, but the Glambot is, wrote one fan. Just realized Glambot guy isn't at the Grammys. It's not actually fun without him, announced another. Notice how the Glambot guy isn't at the Grammys after all that drama, someone else pointed out. We cheered, replied a different user in response to the post about him skipping the event. He upped the price, someone else sarcastically penned, referring to the scandal. The Glambot guy, is he at the Grammys or was he too expensive? Because, the whole shade about the fact that he acted like people couldn't afford his machine. But the question remains, if you're at the Grammys and all these other award shows, are they paying you a fee for that machine to even be on the red carpet to use? Because I highly doubt it. I think the promotion and everything of it all is what gets you paid. But you're going to run up and, they can't afford you. But I would like to know if he actually, are these people on the red carpets paying for you to be there? Because I know, like, if you're Deadline, a Variety, and all these other places, they're paying for their people to be on the red carpets to interview the celebrities and all the other stuff. So Walliser, as you know, faced immense scrutiny for his supposed lack of professionalism after a Reddit user uploaded what appeared to be a 2019 exchange between Walliser and a potential client in an email. Now, in a series of messages, Yinka Animashon reached out to book Walliser's services for a wedding, but was met with resistance from the filmmaker, who stressed that hiring him in the Glambot would be expensive. And it's like, sis, who said I couldn't afford you? Like, let me know what your price is on your budget. Now, just so you are aware, the Glambot is a camera system and personnel used by a network television station for one of the biggest red carpets of the year, an email allegedly from Wallace read. It is not cheap. If you feel like something like this might be within your budget range, then I'm happy to discuss further. Anna Machon confirmed that Glambot will be in her budget range, to which Wallace allegedly responded that he didn't believe her response, that he was in her budget because he had not yet quoted her a fee, and hiring him and his camera crew would cost between 10 grand and 1 million. First of all, why I got to be that high? Because first of all, my thing is, if you got a budget, you already have, people have a set budget, or it's within a range. You can't be like 10,000 to 1 million. Like, sir, get off my line. Like, you could at least say, okay, I charge 150K. If you're gonna be doing it, okay, I can afford it. I got the money. Do I need to run you down my resume or show you my whole accountant call up my accountant and have them send you my whole statement just so you know how much money I got in the bank? Like, if this is what we're doing, then it's like, I would want your ass there anyway. But quiet as it's kept, I already told y'all, there's already, like, you don't even need the Glambot. There's like these little machines that I be seeing when I be walking down Times Square, where you stand on the thing and they got like the camera with the ring light that goes around in a circle, whatever, and captures your photo, whatever. You can get one of those, which is probably a third of the price or way cheaper. Probably like $100, $150 or whatever the case. You can get one of those. I know I'll be a little low budget, but I'm sure it still does the trick. Especially if you're going to be acting like this with an audience. Now, Anna Machon confirmed that the Glambot, that is, in her reply, she said that she had assumed the fee would be pricey. She then asked Wallace what the next steps would be to book his services. So where would I begin, she said, through you, or is there a website? Because I would think that your website would literally give your rate. Like, I have enough friends who are photographers who work with celebrities and all kinds of other stuff, take photos of them and everything, that have a specific price range and a budget for how much they charge, depending on the situation. Yes, the budget fluctuates, but I have friends who are not going to be like, oh, it's going to cost you $1 million. Motherfucker, you ain't Fran Lebowitz. Like, get off my damn line with that. Child, you got your little machine that you just shove up somebody's ass to take a little quick photo and call it a day. Like, anybody could do what you're doing with a little AI. Even though, I can't stand AI at this point. I don't say like I don't want to recommend using it to like for abusive purposes, but he just annoying me with this whole situation. So then he wrote, it's $300,000 and I'll take a 10% deposit. So now you had a full fee. You had a regular fee the whole time, but you was trying to be cute by saying 10,000 or 1 million. Motherfucker, you could have just said 300K and called it a day. And be like, okay, I got it. Like, where do I write the check? I got it for you, whatever the case is. Or do you want me to bring it to you in a goddamn suitcase, deal or no deal style? Now, noting his email, Anna Michon confirmed that she will reach out by Monday. Now, he allegedly replied with, if you wanted to know how much it costs, you just needed to ask. You don't need to pretend you were going to book it. And I'm sitting there like, who the hell talks like this in a goddamn email? If you want to know how much I charge, all you had to do was ask. Motherfucker, you gotta be glad that I asked you that. And I didn't cuss your ass out in another email. It's like, who talks like this in an email? Or you think because you look like the king of the forest with the cowardly lion? You think because you look like the cowardly lion in this photo that makes you a Saint fucking Gandhi? Like, whatever, bitch. Now, they said the alleged email exchanges met with outrage from fellow Reddit users who branded Walliser unprofessional and condescending. Now, in the video, he also broke his silence on the scandal and acknowledged the tone of his emails was dismissive and curt. Walliser also addressed allegations of being labeled racist, admitting that he would never intend to cause the same pain he endured growing up as a person of China. Child, don't even get me started on that. Like, there's no such thing as internalized racism. Like, we've seen the internalized racism from fellow Asians like Bo and Yang. Do we need to get started on that? Another self-hating homosexual. Do we need to get started on that? And how a lot of y'all like to cut the white ideologies in order to make yourselves feel like y'all a part of something. So yeah, you talk about, I would never endure being, or I would never be racist, especially all the pain and things I've had to go through being Chinese. Please. I saw sinners. We know how we know how the Asians will get when somebody wag a little something in your face and how they'll turn their back on the very people that help prop them up. We see, I've seen sinners. We see how some of y'all, I'm not saying all, but how some of y'all operate, and I wouldn't put nothing past you in this situation. So I would never be racist, please. Because I want to talk about the same emails that I sent years ago that resurfaced. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. I didn't even know he spoke about the email situation, but I'm glad it's all in this article. They said the tone in the emails was dismissive and curt, and that is not okay. In 2019, I didn't have a team around me. It was just myself. I edited every single video. I answered every single email, and I was overwhelmed. But that is not an excuse. Everything lands on me. I think the hardest part about all of this is being labeled racist. I'm half Chinese, and growing up, he's probably got a white parent. Because now when you say half Chinese, I already know what the wind blows on that. And growing up, issues of identity, race, and belonging deeply affected me, and I would never intend to inflict that on anybody else. But I do understand that reading these emails, people could be upset and assume bias, especially given the frequency at which people of color experience being dismissed. And so I take responsibility for my words, regardless of what my intent was. He also apologized to those he felt slighted by him during the interactions on the red carpet. I also want to acknowledge people's concerns that they were mistreated or felt dismissed or treated less than on the red carpet. He says, live events move really fast, and I would never want someone to come see me and leave feeling that way. But I do understand that it would happen, and it did happen, and for that, I'm sorry. I like to think that I have grown a lot in the past 7 years, and I always want to treat everybody with respect, and that that they deserve, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Well, I'm glad that you sat up here and apologized now that you were being dragged or whatever. But here's the thing: like I stated before, I've been on many red carpets. I know a lot of people who are photographers who have taken pictures of a lot of people on red carpets, and they have. And you talk about you've been dismissed as been curtain, whatever. That's a behavior thing. That's got nothing to do with the job, because we all know that we could be dismissive and curt in our personal time, but when you old school, but you're not that old. You in your early 40s, like you and I around the same age. So for you to sit up in here and try to act like that, you know. This thing about Kurt and this, that, and the other. I'm just not buying it. I mean, I'm glad you apologize, and if people want to receive it, go ahead. I'm side-eyeing a little bit, but I've been around enough people who, and then being on red carpets and an observer, and just talking to celebrities, and and friends of mine who I know have taken pictures and been on the red carpets. They get in, they take their photos, try to get people's attention, and then you move on. They're not being rude, they're not being curt, they're not being disrespectful, they're not being dismissive. Because at the end of the day, you want to continue to get invited back to these spots. I'm thinking because you had this machine that your ego was bigger than your head, and you was allowing all of this, the fame and the celebrity. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I'm there, I'm like, this is a job. Being around these people, I'm like, yeah, they're famous, they're celebrities or whatever, but I don't get caught up in the fame of it all. And maybe because I don't know if it's because I'm a Virgo, or maybe I'm grounded in a lot of ways, or maybe because I've been around it so much, maybe I'm a little jaded. So being around these celebrities, like, and with me being in live entertainment, I'm always around celebrities. So me being there is like, I'm working, I'm doing whatever. It is what it is. I don't get so caught up in the lights, camera, action of it all. So maybe it's like, maybe a little immature and you need to grow. So maybe it could be that. But yeah, so yeah, you up in here admitting that you was being kind of shady with celebrities. Maybe that's why Ariana Grande like him. Maybe Jennifer clocked it. Maybe that's why she gave you her whole back and ass when she took that photo. Because, shade, no shade. So anyway, so they said he wasn't there. We'll see. Because the Oscars is coming up next month. So we'll see if he's gonna be missing in action again. Because they still got your Glambot machine, but they're not using him. So I say all this to say, excuse me, what do you guys think of this story about Cole saying that he was noticeably absent from the Grammy red carpet after he was last seen at the Golden Globes, that he had his little awkward interaction with Jennifer Lopez, and they trying to say that she may have had something to do with him getting fired. But I don't know. I don't think it was just her, because I feel like it was just her situation. It would have been kind of glossed over, because it felt like maybe it was a misunderstanding. Maybe it was some shade thrown. I really feel it's the latter. But with all the other emails from his past coming out in the main articles like People magazine and all the mainstream places, I think Variety did a story on it. When they started talking about it, I think that may have had the decision of being like, no, we don't want him on the red carpet, because it's a little too soon, especially after all that stuff started coming out, and they don't want to draw attention to the mess. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.